Good evening. Thank you for coming, everybody. This is the 130th annual exhibition of National Association of Women Artists. This is our anniversary. And this is here the photo of our award winners. Not only award winners, but also to come to the panel discussion tonight because they live close by. We have members of all the states, in many states. And those artists are coming to the reception. This wonderful artist will leave and then their times to come here, and we'll be asking them about their work first. So let me introduce Sonia Stark.
As an homage to one of my really wonderful mentors. I've been lucky to have a lot of fabulous mentors, and Stan Brodsky is one of them. He recently passed. He's in his 90s, and even though I was a student in graduate school like 30 some odd years ago, anytime I saw him, anytime I ran into him, he would grab me and say, "Are you working? Are you painting?" And so he never stopped mentoring me. He never gave any thought to the idea that I was no longer a student. Into his 90s, and he did this for lots of people. So the morning that he passed, I didn't know what to do. I figured, well, Stan would paint. And I went directly to my studio, and instead of really reading in that way, I created a piece of art that had some elements of his recent work that he'd been doing in his 90s, but it's very much my own. He taught me after I left Pride when we worked in black and white, and he brought the color. And now I'm really actually known for my recent color. So this pastel is an homage to a very great teacher and mentor to hundreds of people, not just me, but he treated me very special. That's the idea behind the piece.
Thank you, Constance. And the color blue is very, very intense and very beautiful. Is it a coincidence as relation to the colors that he was using?
Oh yeah, I have a color. It's not even a real color. I just always called it Brodsky blue. And the first time I went to his studio, all I could do was look at all of his pigments. Some of them got on my clothes. He used really good paint. He didn't mess around, and that's who I learned that from also. So after I left his memorial service, I went directly to the art store and I found some purple that was about $40, and another Williamsburg green that was another small fortune, and I just brought them home and I thought, yeah, that's what you need for good color. You really can't buy cheap pigments. So part of the process of being influenced by another artist is how you take it and make it your own. And I have no idea what I mean by this color blue, Brodsky blue. I just made that up. But I've searched for it. It's a very celestial color, and it's very, it just makes people feel lighter, you know, and so it's uplifting. And so I've explored it for many, many years. Oddly enough, things are burning in my studio right now. They're all orange and yellow. But so some of the other elements in the painting, like the pastel painting, though, are there's a sort of the cardinal points are in the piece. I've always been searching for archetypal symbols, and that comes into my imagery no matter what I'm doing. So I was kind of responding to losing him, and I'm pretty sure there's an afterlife of some kind, and that we all have souls and we don't really go away. So I was sort of just trying to figure out, like, where is he going to go, you know? And that's why there are quadrants in the piece, and the ability to move through the piece in and out. I think that about covers it.
Thank you, Constance.
I went in with a very colorful palette and it came out completely monochromatic. I think they just beat the color out of me, and it's taken years and years to sort of regain my appreciation for color. And I do have colors that I have in my mind that I've been searching for that don't necessarily exist. So my piece in this show, I work largely intuitively, and I collect a lot of found objects or acquire old objects from various sources. And it's really just a process of puzzling things together in a way that I imagine them to have been in the past, or just give them sort of a, almost like a fake utility. Like, I'm very intrigued by things that I either look like tools or instruments or something that might have been something very useful that we don't have a need for anymore, but the objects themselves are so appealing. So my work is, as I say, pretty intuitive and just combining found objects in the most appealing way. I'm very attracted to like found paintings on the street, or street paint, or things that just happen accidentally, and I hope that my work sort of has that same kind of vibe and vibrancy to it.
Thank you. Thank you, Alison. Any questions to Alison? Allow me to introduce Nancy Lidon, who's combining sculpture and colors.
Thank you.
I have a lot of fun looking also found objects on the beach. I don't live far from the beach, so I'll go down to the beach whenever I can get a chance to see what I see. And if I get lucky, I find some driftwood, and I'll bring it home and clean it up, sand it down, and get started using pastels. And I'll bring them back to the beach or outside to work. I like to sit on the beach and draw outside in the air and get really in touch with nature, which is the ocean, and sitting in the sand and hearing the tide, change of sounds of the ocean's rhythm, and just intuitively move on with the pastels. Sometimes use oil pastels with them, and bringing them all back to the beach and shoot them, photograph them. And I'm continuing this process and perhaps make some paintings of the sculptures on the beach, which I love to work for my photography, which I've been working for so many years, just using it as a fun tool. Now I'm getting serious with it. So this is what I do. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nancy. And now that goes to Val Brochard.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I want to say a couple of words about this organization first. This is the second year that I'm part of this organization, and I do belong to several. And I have to say, I'm extremely impressed with the work, but also the dignity that you bring to us as artists, in the way that the work is displayed, in the efforts that you make to have us exhibited throughout the year, several times a month, on a variety of subjects. And I've been campaigning hard. Obviously, this is only for women, but, and I do say that to my male artist friends, that I said, I'm so sorry, because you do deserve something as good as this. So maybe you can, help them get their own going, but based on this organization, I have to say that it's really mind-blowing. And I don't just belong to American organizations, I also belong to some French ones. They're not as good as this, so we have to, we all have a chip on our shoulders about the French. But this is really quite something. Well, that said, I also want to thank the organization for having awards, and also prize money awards that sometimes you do get an award, but it doesn't come with any cash, so this is always nice. No matter what, as you clearly said, the material we use is premium. Even in found objects, you're then going to work with them in the best possible way I'm sure your pastels are not something, out of a crayon box. So, it's, again, the little cash is always welcome, and I appreciate that. And now, regarding the piece itself, it is a political piece. It's called Survivor. I'm very lucky that none of the issues that have happened to women, particularly sexual assaults, have happened to me. That said, it has happened to both of my nieces. I thought, it was something I had to get out of myself to honor the way women actually pull through, and they're first victims, and then they become survivor. They actually go on living. Not everyone does. Some people actually do commit suicide after something like that. but those who do survive come out beautifully. And the sculpture kind of reflects that. It's a metal sculpture, it's done in steel. And if you look at it, the person is in pieces, the woman is in pieces, she's all torn up. But she still has grace, and she comes through looking forward. She definitely is moving forward. So that is what this is about. And again, thank you for honoring this subject as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Val. And we should also thank all our donors who continuously support UNAWA through memorial bequests and memorial awards. That is how we can give the awards to the members whose work is outstanding every year. We have small operational expenses, but the money for the awards is the artists. That's what we are here for. So thanks for recognizing it, and thanks to the donors and all the people who are donating money to UNAWA.
I'm so impressed with all of these women. I really am. Their depth and their thinking is unique and special. And I'm also impressed, well, I've been on part of the organization for many, many years. I've been president for 3 years. And it's been an honor, I have to say, and it's enhanced my life in many ways. But I think that's because of the women that are part of it, the uniqueness of it. My work, I work completely differently than all of you very deep women. I'm a designer, and I was a designer for many, many years. And I approach each painting from that place. And it moves on from there, and then I go on and put myself into it. But basically, I start as a design, as a piece. It's very hard to look at a piece of canvas. It's white. What does one do? One puts a stroke on it, or one does something, put a dot on it, just to sort of ruin the whiteness of it, correct? I think we've all had that feeling of doing that. And then moving on from there. That's all I can say. But it's been a joy being with all of you, really, over the years. And I'll continue to do it. That's what I can say. Thank you so much. I love you.
I love you too. Well, I would like to thank all the panelists for being here to talking about your work. And I would like to remind ourselves that this is our 130th anniversary. So 5 women started, just like your 5 panelists. And now we are nearly 800 members of the youth. And in fact, today, we have joined some new members, and this year, altogether, it totals to 101 new members, which means that we will be continuing operating, we'll continue doing awards and inspire young women, all women, to join us and to create beautiful work and get recognized and shown. So thank you.